Hello everybody and welcome to the Pocono Raceway for the 2006 Pocono 500 and the 15th race of our 2006 NR2003 season. Kurt Busch starts on the front row on pole position alongside the 11 of Denny Hamlin, the rookie, as they get ready to lead us to the green flag here at the Tricky Triangle from Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Denny Hamlin in the green FedEx ground Chevy on the outside, Kurt Busch in the blue Deuce on the inside for Roger Penske. We are green and underway here in Pocono. It is Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch leading us down into turn one. Behind them you got Greg Biffle and Brian Vickers. As we go into turn one for this first lap, quick screenshot of the thumbnail, and we continue on with the race here as the pack gets ready to go into turn one. We've had some chaotic Pocono races as of late. Of course, last season, Kevin Harvick won the second Pocono race of the season, the most recent one. We'll see if we can get it done this time. Greg Biffle, though, taking advantage of this first lap, battling Kurt Busch for the lead out of turn one. But it looks like it's going to be the two of Kurt Busch who is going to take the lead here as we go down the back straightaway for the first time today here in Pocono. He leads. Behind them, Greg Biffle looks to take second from Denny Hamlin, which he will. An aggressive send into turn two. Biffle almost gets into the door of Kurt Busch, making the move for the lead, but he somehow pulls it off, and Greg Biffle is your new leader here at Pocono, getting ahead of the two of Kurt Busch. Denny Hamlin and Matt Kenseth battle for third behind them. So it is the 16 of Greg Biffle who's going to lead the opening lap of racing here in Pocono over the two of Kurt Busch. Now we move on to lap number three. Denny Hamlin has been on the charge now as Hamlin got by Biffle on the inside, and Denny Hamlin now your new leader here in Pocono. The rookie looking for his second win of the season and of his career. By the way, Kyle Petty just got sent spinning down the Long Pond straightaway in the grass on lap 4, but no caution was called, so he and Jeremy Mayfield end up coming down pit road. Mayfield last car on the lead lap right now. Kyle Petty already 2 laps down. So now on to lap 24, it's still Denny Hamlin leading this race, but here comes the 17 of Matt Kenseth and his yellow and black DeWalt Ford to the inside of Denny Hamlin, stuck behind the bright yellow and red lap car of Terry Labonte in the 44, and now it is Matt Kenseth who takes the lead here for the first time at Pocono, driving by Denny Hamlin. But down to lap 28, he's under fire from the blue Deuce of Kurt Busch, who is still not officially led a lap, although he led the first half of the first lap earlier before Greg Biffle got around him for the race lead. So now Kurt Busch in the blue Deuce clears Matt Kenseth for the lead, and now Kurt Busch is your new leader here in Pocono as he tries to put himself in a good spot to win this stage, but not for long as Denny Hamlin gets back around him here on lap 30. Halfway through stage one, and your leader is Denny Hamlin in the 11. The rookie for Joe Gibbs Racing from Chesterfield, Virginia, once again showing that he has a bright future ahead of him with a strong run today, but it seems like Kurt Busch is his chief competitor as the two once again in the inside lane. Kurt Busch for Roger Penske trying to get his first win with his new team, drives right back into the lead here on lap 33, and Kurt Busch will lead Denny Hamlin midway through stage one at Pocono. Now, as we conclude the pit cycle, Kurt Busch coming out of pit road after he just pitted, almost gets into the door of Brian Vickers, nearly wrecks your leaders. Kurt Busch slots into third, but Denny Hamlin is the winner of this pit cycle, cycling out to be your race leader. And now here we are on the last lap of stage one. Mark Martin in the 6th trying to stay on the lead lap, but gets stuck behind Chad Chaffin in the 61, who Denny Hamlin uses as a pick. And now Mark Martin will go 1 lap down in 17th place, leaving us with 16 cars on the lead lap here as we get ready to conclude stage one. Denny Hamlin looking like he is going to easily win stage one here, which would be his 3rd stage win of his rookie season so far. As Hamlin now through turn 3 for the final time comes to see the green and white checkered flag. Denny Hamlin wins stage one in Pocono over Brian Vickers in 2nd. Kurt Busch going to come across in 3rd. This was Hamlin's 3rd stage win this season. 4th place would be Greg Biffle. Matt Kenseth rounds out the top 5. Coming across to take 6th place all the way back, making their way through turn 3, is going to be the 9 of Casey Kane. By a very dominant stage from Denny Hamlin, 3rd stage win of his rookie season already, looking to be one of the favorites to win this race today. But yeah, Casey Kane comes across in 6th place. Tony Stewart makes his way to 7th. Scott Riggs will be 8th. Jeff Burton will be 9th, and the final stage point goes to your points leader, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. So Denny Hamlin and the FedEx ground green and black Chevrolet for Joe Gibbs Racing wins stage one here at Pocono. As now he gets ready to battle the 25 of Brian Vickers here on lap 65 to begin stage number 2. Another 60-lap stage here pretty much, but Brian Vickers gets a much better restart than the 11 of Denny Hamlin, who's now already 2 wide alongside Matt Kenseth, now nearly 3 wide as Kurt Busch gets aggressive into turn 1. 3 wide for the lead here in Pocono. An aggressive dive. Kurt Busch and Hamlin somehow managed to clear Brian Vickers through turn 1, and now it is Hamlin and Kurt Busch who are doing battle for the lead down the Long Pond straightaway here in Pocono. Hamlin gets clear, a great restart from the 11, gets ahead of Kurt Busch and can set his sights on driving away. No trouble behind them. There's the car spinning hard in the outside wall. That's the 22 of Dave Blaney, who gets turned by David Stremme into turn 2, goes flying up the racetrack, somehow only collects one other car, that being Tony Raines in the 96, who collects some minor damage. That was a miracle that there was not more cars involved in that, with Dave Blaney being sent from the middle of the pack. But Dave Blaney is done for the day. He will finish in 42nd place here in Pocono as Denny Hamlin beats Kurt Busch back to the caution flag. Starting to get back underway here on lap 70, as now we've gotten to stage 2 after a caution-free opening stage. Seems the chaos is really starting to set in now, but Kurt Busch easily going to beat Denny Hamlin on this restart. Clear the 11 going into turn 1 as Kurt Busch sets his sights on his first win driving for Roger Penske. Hamlin going to still battle it out with Brian Vickers, and the 25 for Hendrick Motorsports. They are in third, but it is Kurt Busch clear over Denny Hamlin in second as we work our way down the back straightaway here in Pocono at the very early stages of stage number 2. So Kurt Busch leads us through turn 2. Hamlin follows suit into second, and there's more trouble behind them. More cars go crashing into turn 2. It's Clint Bowyer in the 07 as well as Travis Quaffle. Truex drove it in too deep, wrecks fellow rookie Clint Bowyer, and collects last year's Daytona 500 winner Travis Quaffle in the process. And heartbreak for Clint Bowyer again, who is so good. But there's more trouble up here into turn 3. That's Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Bobby Labonte in the 43. Involved in an accident here as Greg Biffle got bounced between Labonte and Yaley. Biffle goes spinning, collects Jr., who slams into Bobby Labonte. Both guys go spinning around. And then as everyone tries to avoid Dale Jr., a couple more cars bounce into the wall, that being the 78 of Jimmy Spencer and the 51 of Mike Garvey. Garvey just runs over Spencer right there. He's going to take them both out of the race. And a wild turn of events here at Pocono. As soon as we get to stage 2, all of a sudden the chaos coming out of nowhere. Rex coming out of the woodwork. Kurt Busch leading over Denny Hamlin. As I mentioned, heartbreak for Clint Bowyer, who is so strong. The runner-up finish at his home track in Kansas last episode. And now behind us, there's some trouble. Here's Terry Labonte and Kyle Busch crashing down the front straightaway. And the caution is out again. This time, Terry Labonte gets dumped by Chad Chaffin. And Kyle Busch gets collected, spinning up into Kyle Petty. And Busch and Terry Labonte, 200 cars go spinning. Not the day that Kyle Busch was looking to have here in Pocono. Caution comes out with Kurt Busch leading Denny Hamlin here in Pocono. Of course, Bowyer, Quaffle, Jimmy Spencer all out of the race from the previous accident. And now Tony Raines has a mechanical issue, so he'll be out in 37th. So now we're back underway on lap 81. Going to be 46 to go in stage 2. This time Denny Hamlin gets the brilliant restart on the outside lane. Easily going to clear Kurt Busch here into turn 1. Using the outside lane, and Denny Hamlin will hold the race lead. Kurt Busch right there on his left rear quarter panel. Sorry, my correction there. Kurt Busch in second. Brian Vickers in third. So right now it's Denny Hamlin leading, but it's been a chaotic stage 2 so far here in Pocono. Wrecks just happening left and right. This time Kurt Busch going to get a nose ahead of Denny Hamlin into turn 2, and Kurt Busch will take the lead here at Pocono over Denny Hamlin. I saw Bobby Labonte bounce off the wall, a little bit of a stack up back here. Carl Edwards going 3 wide into turn 3 at Pocono. Now for some reason going on the apron with Jeremy Mayfield almost on the pit entry lane. Edwards off the track and into the wall. There goes Carl Edwards, and the big one strikes in Pocono. The 99, Carl Edwards wrecks himself, collecting Martin Truex Jr., Casey Mears, Kyle Busch, Ken Schrader, Sterling Marlin, and Reed Sorensen. A 7-car pileup in turn 3 brings out the caution again as we've got a string of yellows. The chaos just erupting out of nowhere here in Pocono. Now we're going to get back underway on lap 86. This time, once again, Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch still the front rows. You haven't gotten a lap done under green because they've just been frequently wrecking at the middle part of the pack here. Is now out of the race. You're going to have Carl Edwards out in 36th, Casey Mears 35th, and Marlin 34th. So there's 33 cars left in this race. We're nearly wrecking 3 wide back there with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Near disaster. Everyone luckily keeps it going in the right direction. Hamlin going to be leading over Kurt Busch. And now that did not last for too long as Kurt Busch drives his way into the race lead now on lap 96 with a little over 30 to go in stage 2. Kurt Busch back out front, and now he'll come in for his scheduled green flag pit stop here at the end of stage 2 with 24 to go in the stage. Kurt Busch is in, which is going to give the lead to the DeWalt Ford of Matt Kenseth and the number 17 for Roush Racing. So Kenseth, your new leader after Kurt Busch made his green flag pit stop here at stage 2 in Pocono. And then Kevin Harvick just crashed. We completely missed it. So my apologies for that, completely missing the replay. But Kevin Harvick's car is completely destroyed after having a solid top 15 run going. Harvick is out of the race. He will finish in 33rd. So with that forced Matt Kenseth to pit, so he loses all his track position on this restart. And now it is Kurt Busch who leads us back to the green here with just 7 to go in stage 2, leading Denny Hamlin and Mark Martin, who's a lap car, by the way. Dale Jr. is also a lap car. We got Casey Kane and Jeff Burton sending Elliott Sadler up the racetrack, nearly causing another massive pileup. Luckily, everyone able to hold on to it and avoid causing a big wreck. Now, here we are, 6 to go rather in stage 2. Here comes Denny Hamlin to the inside lane of Kurt Busch. And Hamlin back into the lead here in Pocono, looking to get the stage sweep here at his first ever Pocono race. Hamlin to the front. And now here we are on the last lap of stage 2, going through turn 3 for the final time. It is all Denny Hamlin as he holds off Kurt Busch through turn 3, and Denny Hamlin is going to win stage 2 here in Pocono and sweep the stages for the first time in his career. Kurt Busch comes home second, Casey Kane third in the stage. Will be followed up by Ryan Newman in 4th. Tony Stewart rounds out the top 5. Jeff Burton will be 6th. Jimmy Johnson 7th. 8th place will be Brian Vickers. 9th place will be Scott Riggs, and Matt Kenseth rounds out your top 10. So Denny Hamlin sweeps the stages here in Pocono. Now he has 4 total stage wins on the season. Kurt Busch, though, right on his tail. Now to get back underway in the third and final stage of racing with 70 laps to go in Pocono. It is Casey Kane and Denny Hamlin. How about the 9 of Casey Kane, and his Dodge for Ray Evernham is clear for the race lead over Denny Hamlin and Brian Vickers. Kane now trying to break the outside lane work behind his Scott Riggs. Just got doored by J.J. Yaley. Somehow they didn't wreck right there. And we'll continue on with the 9 of Casey Kane leading the 11 of Denny Hamlin down the Long Pond straightaway here at Pocono. But Hamlin looks like he's setting up a move for the lead here. He's got Vickers right on his back bumper as well as we go into 2. And we make it through turn 2 safely. Casey Kane still leading the way. Hamlin trying to chase him back down in 2nd. Now we go into turn 3. Will be 69 to go this time by Casey Kane, taking a very low line through turn 3. Usually something guys do when they're going to pit. And your leader, Casey Kane's coming down pit road from the lead. What is the 9 doing? Casey Kane just had the lead, and now he just pitted out of nowhere from the lead with 70 to go, basically throwing away any chances he has at victory. And now it's Denny Hamlin who inherited the race lead until Brian Vickers in the 25 gets by him here. And Vickers will be leading this race with 65 laps to go over Denny Hamlin. Well, this battle will continue as Hamlin got back on the outside lane there as they're fighting the lap car at Greg Biffle. As Biffle got trapped by Matt Kenseth's mid-stage 2 strategy a lap down, so now he's trying to race his way back on the lead lap. And now Brian Vickers will clear Denny Hamlin out of turn 1. And Brian Vickers for Rick Hendrick leading the way here in Pocono with 65 to go. A caution came out, so to get back underway with just 29 laps to go here in Pocono. And it is Matt Kenseth and the 17 leading over Kurt Busch. And how about Mr. Consistency, your points leader, Jimmy Johnson, always finds a way to be in the mix of these races at the very end, running in 3rd place behind us. So we are in an absolute mess of 3 wide. Denny Hamlin in a big wreck. There goes Greg Biffle into Ryan Newman, Brian Vickers, and Jeff Burton. A massive crash into turn 1 takes out 4 of the best cars. Biffle, who led a bunch of laps early. Vickers, who looked like he had the win here late in the stage before that caution came out. Ryan Newman, your defending series champion, and Jeff Burton, who's been top 10 all day long, all crash out in that big wreck in turn 1. Denny Hamlin narrowly avoiding being involved in a wreck himself back here, who has been the man to beat all day long. But he'll have some late race adversity to overcome if he wants to go to victory lane. But it'll be Matt Kenseth holding off Kurt Busch back to the line here with just 28 to go in Pocono. So now we're going to have another restart, this time will be just 24 laps to go. Kurt Busch on the outside lane gets a much better restart than he did last time. Going to be able to get a nose ahead of Matt Kenseth into turn 1, and Kurt Busch trying to find his way to victory lane. As, of course, Jeff Burton and Ryan Newman wreck out of the race from that big pileup on the last restart. So Kurt Busch now clear for the lead. They're 3 wide behind him. Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Tony Stewart, who's got his teammate of Hamlin behind him. And there goes the 20 of Tony Stewart, just got turned in front of the pack. And Brian Vickers into the wall. Casey Kane involved. Caution is out. Denny Hamlin just wrecked his teammate of Tony Stewart, just clipped him out of turn 2. Sends Vickers hard into Casey Kane, who slams the outside wall. Kane got the worst of it right there. Significant damage to the 9. Stewart goes spinning, loses all of his track position. Hamlin now nearly wiping out here on the apron. And all of a sudden, late in this race, it is just getting absolutely crazy here. Elbows are getting out. The bumpers are being used. And a number of drivers are unhappy and are going to end this race with torn up race cars. As we work our way through turn 3, it is still Kurt Busch who will lead Jimmy Johnson as we get back underway now. Just 19 laps to go, and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson is leading his first lap of the day at probably one of the most opportune times with just 19 to go in this race. The 48, Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus get themselves in contention at the right time, but Jimmy does not have a good turn 1, way too high. Opens the door for Kurt Busch, who surges into the race lead with 19 to go. Now here we are with just 3 laps to go. Denny Hamlin right to the back bumper. Kurt Busch, Hamlin to the inside, trying to go for the lead and the win. Can Hamlin take it away from Kurt Busch? No. Hamlin does not have the momentum through turn 1, has to lift, and Kurt Busch now taking the white flag. Final lap here at Pocono for Kurt Busch, trying to get his first win for new team owner Roger Penske. As Hamlin tries to chase him back down, who's been so dominant. Hamlin has led 80 laps today, swept the stages, has been the dominant force, but Kurt Busch has been on his heels all day long, and now Kurt Busch finally the one up in front on this final time down the Long Pond straightaway. Seems to have a good enough gap where he might be able to hold off any charge Denny Hamlin might seem to mount here through turn 2, as Kurt Busch did not get a good line through that corner. A big gain here by Denny Hamlin. He'll have one last shot at Kurt here out of turn 3 if he can side draft him. Here comes Hamlin right to the back bumper of Kurt Busch in the final corner. Can Denny Hamlin steal this win away from Kurt Busch? It's going to be a drag race to the line. Hamlin swings to the inside, trying to beat him as they cross the line. Kurt Busch beats Denny Hamlin in a photo finish here in Pocono. What a finish. Kurt Busch gets his 6th career win. His first for Roger Penske comes here at Pocono. Denny Hamlin second, Matt Kenseth, Scott Riggs, and Tony Stewart your top 5. Jimmy Johnson comes home 6th. Brian Vickers will be 7th. Casey Kane is 8th. And then Jamie Mack and Dale Jr. a lap down. Sorry, not Dale Jr. Jamie McMurray and J.J. Yaley a lap down in 9th and 10th. So Kurt Busch led 69 laps en route to the Pocono win here, and with that being his 6th career victory, he's now tied for 62nd on the all-time wins list with Ken Schrader, and there's a crash on the last lap. Dale Jr. got turned head-on into the outside wall in turn 2, a vicious hit by Jeff Gordon and J.J. Yaley. Ken Schrader gets collected, and then Bobby Labonte doesn't see Jr., slams right into the back of him, another massive hit, and then Jeremy Mayfield slams into Labonte, who gets hit by Souther as well, and 3 big hits right there. Going to take out Bobby Labonte and Dale Jr., who are going to DNF, and Jeremy Mayfield's going to limp across the line with smoke pouring out the back of his Ray Evernham Dodge. So Kurt Busch wins it for Roger Penske and Dodge here at Pocono, beating Denny Hamlin by 9/100ths of a second in a drag race to the line. And Penske is back in victory lane for the first time since Ryan Newman last season in the playoffs. You'll be able to see the final race results there on the left side of your screen. Pause and take a look if you'd like. In a few short moments, you'll see the updated points standings after today's race from Pocono, where Kurt Busch is victorious. So now you look at your updated point standings after today's race in Pocono. Jimmy Johnson still with a comfortable 101-point lead on Tony Stewart for the regular season championship. Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, they all remain the same. Greg Biffle jumps Casey Mears for 7th in points. Now it is a tight battle from 8th on down. Mears only 8 points above the cut line. Kent's is 7 of the good. Kurt Busch with that win is now tied with Scott Riggs on the bubble, but because Kurt Busch has a win and Scott Riggs doesn't, he has a tiebreaker. Denny Hamlin now right back in the mix. Right there, only 5 points out. Junior only 10 points out. Other guys on the outside looking in, Jeff Burton with a win, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, who's starting to make some hay and gain some ground. So a big day for Kurt Busch and Denny Hamlin in the point standings, but still Jimmy Johnson with a massive points lead after Kurt Busch wins here in Pocono. And as always, as we end this episode, I want to give a special shout out to my channel members. Thank you very much to Brenda Breen and Jeremy Isley for your support. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Helps this channel continue to produce awesome content and do great things. On our road to 1,000 subscribers, just recently eclipsed 960. So those of you that are not subscribed and watch these videos, please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it would mean a ton to me. If you want to become a channel member, link is in the description down below. And until next time, I hope you all have a good one.